Parts of this episode of Garden Time were recorded before COVID-19 and social distancing requirements.
Hi, Judy. How are you?
I'm doing good, but how are you?
I'm doing fine. Why do you ask? I
know what's going on, and we'll explain it all next on Garden Time. Welcome to Garden Time. And the reason that Ryan was talking so funny is that a few weeks ago, the first part of our show was not seen in the Portland area because of a press conference.
And for that reason, today we want to re-air a couple of those segments so our viewers in the Portland area don't feel left out.
Coming up in the show today, we'll be sharing some beautiful hydrangeas in full bloom.
And also coming up are Tips of the Month with Jan McNeilan.
But coming up first, one of those missed segments about sedums.
You know, sedums and succulents are the craze, and I'm here today with Becky from Sedum Chicks, and you definitely have a lot of sedums and succulents.
Yes.
And so you have your helpers with you today. That looks like you guys have picked out some of your favorites.
Awesome.
And so which ones are we looking at today?
We are looking at my two chicks right here, Georgia and Jacoby. And we picked 6 of our favorites. They have awesome color right now. The raspberry ice here is, I think, one of the most beautiful sempervivums that we have with the red and the frosty white on top. This guy I would put really in any place. It's going to hold color really well, partial sun or even to full sun, rock garden, container planting, any kind of wall hanging. Next we have the Old Man Bones. It's also called Sedum Divergens. With lots of sun, this is going to do tons of color change throughout the year, which I think is really neat. I would put it in a rock garden where it can crawl down or drape. I have 2 here. Lime Twister, which I think the variegation on it is just gorgeous. This one, again, I would want to put in more sun so you can have more variegation. Like garden bed, rock garden, even a wall hanging, that sort of thing. And then my other one that I have, I think is super unique. I always get the crazy question asking if there's been spiders on this particular plant. It's called Sempervivum arachnoideum subanis. No, it grows like that. I do not know why. Do you, any clues?
I don't have any clues of why, but they do have that nice cobweb look.
Yeah, beautiful. It's very unique. This one, again, we would put really anywhere that landscape, wall hanging, container planting, strawberry pot, any place. We have Jacoby has the Desert Bloom. Beautiful, nice, red, vibrant sempervivum. Put it in a really showy spot because it has great color. And then lastly, we picked out Sempervivum Oddity because it is one of our really unique sempervivums with the tuber type of leaves.
It definitely has that odd shape to it.
Totally odd.
And, you know, and sempervirens and sedums, you know, they're definitely been the craze over the years, and you have this, you know, big selection where you can, you know, plant them all together and lots to choose from.
Yeah.
You know, and people are used to coming and buying succulents from you either at like farmers markets and plant sales, but you know, with a lot of those canceled this year, where can folks go to get your plants?
Yeah, so we have a nice website. It's sedumchicks.com. That's the best place right now. I also have people emailing us orders and then doing porch pickups and that sort of thing. So just contacting us, you know, putting in an online order is perfect. And then when shows are back up and running, we'll be at them.
That's great. So you can still get your plants. So I appreciate being with you, Becky, and also your amazing helpers today. So make sure you go to your website, or you can go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over and you can purchase all these wonderful plants from Sedum Chicks. Thanks,
Awesome.
Becky.
Thank you.
Make sure to stay healthy.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
So for the parts of your life that just can't stop, it's essential to keep moving forward safely. And now it's easier than ever to own a brand new Subaru from Capital. Not only can you shop hundreds of Subarus online and get questions answered instantly, but now you can test drive, finance, and even complete your purchase all from the comfort of your home. So keep planning for the future. We'll be here to help make the road ahead just a little bit smoother. Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Find everything you need for spring at Al's Garden and Home.
Come to where the color is. Come to Egan Gardens. We've worked hard growing healthy plants for you so that your gardening is easy. Add sparkle to your garden with our perennials, container plants, and skillfully designed baskets and planters.
Stop and get a mood lifter out here on the farm. We have lots of fresh air and lots of space. There's lots of blooming plants, new vegetable starts, shrubs, and berry bushes.
Egan Gardens, where it's all about the plants. We're located west of I-5 at exit 263 on River Road.
DRAM is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. DRAM products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. DRAM for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
Since 1929, Grimm's Fuel has powered great gardens around our area. With our comprehensive composting and yard debris services, we can apply quality garden mulch, compost, and blended soils with our experienced crews and trucks, including our landscape rock and bark products as well. We're proud of our industry-leading state-of-the-art composting facilities. We also can take care of your fuel oil and firewood needs. Grimm's Fuel, building great gardens since 1929.
It is hydrangea time, and I am at the best hydrangea place. I'm at Hydrangeas Plus with Kristin. And Kristin, it is so much fun to be here right at the beginning of bloom season.
It is, yes. A lot of things are a little early, some things are a little late. Weird weather.
It is weird weather, warm and hot, and cool and rainy and everything.
Lots of rain.
Yeah.
So,
but really, things are blooming, so let's start with this one.
Yes.
I love this flower.
I know, that's a great one. That's the paniculata white moth. Very unusual. It's never the same bloom twice.
Oh.
A lot of the other paniculatas have cone shape. This one does its own thing, and I just think it's fun. And I love the way that it changes to chartreusey green as the bloom ages.
How pretty.
Yes.
And now, will this always stay white?
This will always stay white. It does not have the ability to go any other color other than maybe a little bit of a blush pink, but definitely green. That's what it ages to.
Very pretty. And so then you have all these colors here.
Yes, and these all can be changed with the
Okay.
pH of the soil, getting it low, and also adding some available aluminum, which we sell here at our store and online, and when we go to Seabrights next weekend.
All right. So really, you can change this. It's a beautiful kind of pink with a white in it, but you can change that too.
I know. I saw this one's called Miss Sayori. It's one of my new ones. I saw it online. I saw a picture of it purple.
Ooh.
Yes. I think it's on my Facebook page.
Very cool.
It was very stunning. But another good point about the Miss Sayori is that before it blooms, it has that gorgeous burgundy foliage, and it slowly changes back to green like a normal hydrangea, but kind of flip-flopped. Some of the hydrangeas will start off green and go burgundy red in the fall. So this one's opposite.
And so we didn't talk about sun or shade, so where can we put this Missouri?
So generally the mop heads and the lace caps are morning sun, afternoon shade. The paniculata types, they can take full sun.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That is fun.
Yes.
So really, anywhere in your garden you
Yes.
can have hydrangeas.
That's right.
And a tall or short one?
That's a short one. It's probably a 4 foot, 4
Okay.
by 4,
Oh,
I
nice.
think. I haven't put it in the ground, so I'm not really sure.
Okay, new
Yeah,
for you.
new.
And pretty, another lace.
I know, isn't this great? This one's Diva, because it is a diva. It's one of the proven winner varieties, the Let's Dance series. Has some ability to bloom on the new wood. We don't know exactly how much, but I love it because it's a lace cap, and I'm a little fond of those.
Okay.
But the petals are what really draws me. The petals are huge
They
for
are.
a
Look at
lace
that.
cap, and that's just a 1 gallon. But look how big those are. 2 inches across, did you say?
Yeah, at
Yes.
least. And what a big flower.
And a big
So,
flower
what
head.
a show.
Yes. big size of a plate. The next one's Jennifer.
Oh.
And probably one of our richest colored ones in terms of the pigments. Beautiful red. To keep them red in our acidic soil, you have to keep the pH higher or put it in a container.
Oh, that makes it easy.
Yes, then you don't have to worry about that.
Sure.
But this one is also a beautiful dark blue. I haven't gotten it all the way to blue, but I know it can go blue. Very easily changed. The next one is one of my favorites. It's called Frillibit. Look at how frilly that is. And again, purplish. We've done a little bit of amending to the soil. So it is a little bit more on the blue side, well, purple side. But it can go all the way to blue. It's also gorgeous as a pink.
And about height on that one?
This one's a little bit bigger. This is probably a 5x5. So is the Diva. And the Jennifer, I'm thinking, is maybe in the 4 to 5 foot range too.
It's a little bit back of the garden a little bit?
Yep, so not so little. There's not a lot of real tiny hydrangeas yet. Some of them, I think the tallest ones, or the smallest ones that we have are maybe 3 feet.
But that's really nice.
Yes, perfect size for a container too.
Definitely. And that is really striking.
I know, this is part of the Serrata family, which are usually the earliest to bloom for the hydrangeas, usually in bloom by now. This one's called Tiara. And the foliage, it's funny because the foliage it's not usually this red this early. But I think with the cool weather, it thinks it's fall. And so it's doing its thing already. Again, blue or pink or purple, depending on the pH of the soil, but easily changed to blue.
And what about the size on that one?
Size is probably a 4x4.
But you know, it's interesting. Every year is different. I mean, people get so pigeonholed about it's supposed to happen this time of year, and we just go with it. Really.
Exactly.
And going with it, you're going to be all over the place today. And
yes, we're going to split duties, and the kids will be at Hydrangeas Plus in Aurora, and I will be at Seabright Gardens in Salem.
Oh, how fun!
Yes. So we're there in Salem from 9 to 3, and then we're open in Aurora from 10 till 3.
That is nice. And then where can we get all that information?
So go to our website. We have a schedule of events, so we'll be open a few more weeks here, and probably the last day will be our July 10th and 11th sale.
Okay.
And on the website, there's a schedule of events on the bottom left-hand side, and I've got lots of hints and tips about colors and pruning under our helpful tips. I can't remember the name. It is on there too.
It's on there. But you know, we have so many past segments with Kristin talking about when to prune, how to prune. They're wonderful hands-on, and you can always go to the archive on the Garden Time website and see that, and you get to see it in, really close-ups. I mean, we have really great videos for that too. So really, you have to have hydrangeas in your garden that look at the beautiful flowers and really come out and see Kristin either at Seabright or at Hydrangeas Plus today. Thanks so much, Kristin.
Thanks for coming.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Do you want to be green? Do the easy stuff first. Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. The U.S. House Energy and Commerce Committee says for every $1 spent on a shade tree, you can save $5 on cooling, blocking the penetrating heat in the summer and allowing the warm rays through in the winter. Dollar for dollar, there's no better energy and money saver than a good, deciduous shade tree. Portland Nursery's professionals can help you make the perfect selection. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Judy, what are you doing?
You said to follow you.
Follow us on Facebook.
Oh, man. Well, we invite all of our viewers to follow the Garden Time page on Facebook.
And on our Facebook page, you'll find links to stories, you'll see upcoming events, and you also might even find a funny joke or two.
So don't forget, go to the gardentime.tv webpage and click the link for Facebook.
Since 1982, the Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, the Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years with the help of your friends at The Wall.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how,
fun and fantastic garden decor,
and the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
Well, I'm here with Laura out at Portland Nursery, and our gardens are in full bloom. And Laura, we got some great perennials to add a lot of that color for the late spring and summer. So what do we have today?
Well, I picked out a selection of different things to add some jazz and to clarify some things. First, we have Geranium Biocovo. People use Roseanne a lot because it's a nice blue color, but this one I've grown in my garden for a long time in quite a bit of shade. And it can also do full sun. It's semi-evergreen, and I love that the leaves are fragrant too. So it's a great, geraniums are kind of a good, they're reliable.
So you get a long bloom period.
Long bloom period, and they're just, an easy plant to grow.
Right.
So there's something I really love in my garden. So this is a true geranium, a perennial geranium. I also brought up the pelargoniums here. They're scented geraniums. So they're annuals or tenders. They also make great house plants. I also like to call them scratch and sniff plants. I brought up chocolate mint scented geranium and another minty one. We've got rose geraniums, pelargoniums. And something else neat about these is the flowers are edible. And then you can make all kinds of things from the leaves, like simple syrups. You can flavor cakes with them.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not great at houseplants, but I can overwinter scented geraniums indoors.
And that's with the flower, or is that with the foliage?
The foliage.
Okay.
But yeah, the flowers are just primarily this time of year, and you get a little bit more later on, but there's some of them that are like hot pink. And
fun.
Really fun.
And the coloring within the leaves themselves,
yeah.
The variegation or the dark veining is pretty cool.
Definitely.
So then what other plants are we looking at on here?
So also we've got some salvias. I am a sucker for salvias. Oh my gosh, every single one. I want to take them home.
And there's like thousands of them.
It's such a huge genus. People are like, where are the salvias? It's like, what kind?
Right.
But this one's an annual one called Rockin Fuchsia. They bloom till frost, so they're just powerhouses. And they attract hummingbirds like crazy.
Yeah, with that big, deep throat.
Yeah, definitely. So this is a great perennial one. And then this is annual. This is perennial. This is the dwarf hot lips, little kiss. So it doesn't get 18 inches tall.
Because sometimes the other ones can get pretty large.
Really big, yeah.
So it's nice
and they start off red, and then they'll take on that white tone with warmer weather. And then I also pulled in front the new skyscraper orange that we have planted out in the parking strip. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's another pretty color. You don't usually see a lot of that orange color. You see a lot of the pinks and purples and reds, but it's kind of cool to have that orange. And then would you need to, like, when these blooms are done, as they're spent, do you need to deadhead these at all, or do you just leave them
can deadhead them, but they'll rebloom on their own too, but they'll look much cleaner if you deadhead the annual ones.
And let's let them reflush it.
Yeah.
And then you have a couple other goodies on here. Looks
other goodies.
Looks like some fuchsias over there.
Yeah. This is a delicious fuchsia, Debron's black cherry, smoky blues, from our own Monier's breeders who are no longer around breeding fuchsias. But it's just, fuchsias are just powerhouses in the shade garden, starting now till frost.
Right, they'll just keep blooming their heads
They'll
off.
just keep blooming. Another hummingbird attractor, and little known fact, fuchsia flowers are edible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You have to strip off the green bits, and you might want to wait a couple years before you start eating your fuchsia flowers. But the flowers are edible, and so are the fruits.
Interesting.
So, yeah, Alice at Log House has brought one specifically for large fruits, and being blue, purple, they've got antioxidants in them, and they make your tongue tingle.
Oh, really?
Kind of
so would you put them like a salad, or just eat them straight? Or
I would experiment first and see what your palate
Kind
tells
of
you to do.
what the taste is.
Yeah, it's like, how do I want to use this? Because there is a little pit in the middle.
And then they're self-cleaning a lot of times too, like the fuchsias will just drop them.
Yeah, definitely self-cleaning. So yeah, another reliable, you can't go wrong with fuchsias. Good, dependable.
And there's so many different varieties that you carry too, as far as
goodness,
the uprights and the short and the compact.
Yeah, and then the minis.
Yeah,
they're so cute.
Yeah, so there's a wide range of what you can do with the fuchsias.
Can't go wrong with.
And then this guy here, I mean, the bloom on this thing. What is this one?
A Butilon or flowering maple. I feel like they're underutilized because they can overwinter here in a mild winter like we just had.
Right.
Or like a heavy mulch or something like that. And this can become quite tall, the red tiger.
Yeah, he'll be more like large shrub, big tree.
And just a statement, people walking by the garden like, what is that?
I mean, just to see that kind of coloring.
Yeah. Yeah, and it comes in such a range of yellows. We've got a smoked salmon right now, and a deep lipstick red, and
they're very, once they get going, they're pretty profuse bloomers.
Very
right?
profuse.
Go all summer
long. Yeah.
And also probably a good statement or focal point in a pot or a container.
Exactly. Full sun. They can take light shade. So pretty versatile as well.
And then this one's been staked to be more tree-like.
Tree-like. I've seen them prune into like a standard form.
Okay. And so you have amazing selection of all of these really great blooming perennials going into to bring color throughout your yard into the spring and the summer. And you guys are open. So what are some of your protocols?
We are open. Some of our protocols. Number one is a mask. For both, this is the first time I've taken my mask off at work. For both employees and for customers. Also, we have, you need to speak with our greeters before you come in so you can kind of figure out what's going on. We're credit or debit only. The inside of the store is closed for safety purposes. We just don't want crowding. And it's also a safe place for our staff to take breaks right now too. The good news is our houseplant selection has moved outside to the greenhouse, and we're starting to get some things like tools outside as well.
So you'll have a selection of the things that were in or still accessible.
And then we have the warehouse bay doors open for you to ask for other things in the store. And we are working on getting our information desk open again.
Okay.
So
which is great.
Yeah, so that's something we're making space for. And another really important protocol is to remember to have fun.
If we're all going through this, we need to have a little humor.
Yeah.
Enjoy the plants, enjoy the flowers, and just make the best of the situation.
Make each other laugh.
Absolutely.
It's the best medicine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Laura, it's always a pleasure to come out here and enjoy it. We appreciate your time and sharing these beautiful plants with you. So make sure you go to Portland Nursery's website, or you can go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over. So our tip of the week is how to turn our garden tools into a multi-use tool. So we've gone through and taken the handle of our hoe here and marked out every 6-inch increments on the handles, because there's a lot of times we're in the garden where we're transplanting seedlings, or we need to space things every 6 inches apart or a foot apart, or if we need to know if a plant is going to get 2 feet across, how far that is. So we've turned our garden tool into a measuring stick, and that is our tip of the week.
At Sagawa Nursery, we always talk about taking your garden from ordinary to extraordinary. For us, that means bringing you the newest and best plants and unique garden items to you, our customer. For you, that means we'll help you transform your garden into something that's extraordinary. We also have some great gift items and even a few surprises for inside your home, too. Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
Create a beautiful living space both inside and out with the help of Terra Casa.
Outside, you'll find pottery, fountains, and decor to make your garden unforgettable.
And inside, there are home furnishings and just the right accents to make your home warm, inviting, and most importantly, comfortable.
Terra Casa has a huge selection of merchandise to fit any home or budget. Plus, we still have all the unique and distinctive gifts that you have come to expect from Terra Casa.
Terra Casa in downtown Damascus.
For 90 years, Espoma has one guiding principle: develop the finest organic gardening products that work in harmony with nature, grow beautiful gardens, and make a greener world for the future. From our soil products to our plant foods, we have always been committed to the environment and sustainability. We use a vast array of natural and organic ingredients and package them in our 100% solar-powered plant. Look for the quality line of Espoma products at your local independent garden center. Espoma, organic from the beginning.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature Blooming Advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
Well, it's June, and I'm here with Jan and Ducky, and we have all sorts of tips you have for us this month, Jan.
We do. Where do we want to start?
Yeah, the list is probably long this time of year.
Yeah, thinning is one of my biggest problems, because if you seed them and they come up, it feels so bad to pull them out.
Right.
So I got some starts to go with the lettuce, then I seeded a whole package. And so what I do is I go ahead and thin, and then I move some to another bed, and I actually just replant them right here where I am and make sure they're real moist, and then they'll take off and they'll become the big plants later.
Because there's a lot of the seeded stuff that we do, like your carrots and your chives, and it's those tiny little seeds that it's hard to space out.
Right, it is. But this, I just love the way it looks. I could just take scissors and clip the tops
off and
have
raise it out and then space out.
Right, and have a bag of salad.
Right.
The other thing that happens, it happened this year, but they're not still here, are mushrooms in the mulch. And those are just there. It's good organic matter for your soil, and it's nothing to worry about at all.
It's probably a sign that you have good fertile soil.
It actually is. You ever seen a fairy ring? It's a ring of mushrooms that keeps spreading out, and it's a complete circle, and it's just the soil in that circle. Look it up sometime. It's really fun. If you see one, you're like, I've seen one.
Right.
They're not very common.
But at least so we don't have to worry about
the
mushrooms in the ground.
Not at all. So thinning the seedlings is one of my hardest things to do. Ground beetles is something you also run into, the bigger,
they're
black, shiny.
Right.
And then there's also a lot of smaller ones too, but they're all beneficial.
Oh, really?
They eat, especially the big ones, eat snails and slugs and slug eggs and other insects. So usually you find them sort of tucked away under the debris of the soil.
So it's actually a good thing, because a lot of people see a big bug and they're concerned it's eating your plant.
Not at all. The other thing too to remember is to fertilize your pots often if you want to keep your flowers going. You spent the money to get these big gorgeous pots and you want them to still look like that. So once a week's the best way. Once every 2 weeks you could get away with and still have some pretty good looking.
Yeah, because every time you're watering, all that water, it's flushing
going
right out the bottom.
The same thing happens with raised beds. You actually have to take care of them a little bit differently. The other thing we were talking about earlier was powdery mildew.
Yes.
And what else were we talking? Mildew and black spot.
Yeah.
Some roses are more susceptible to black spot than others. You can have a whole bunch of roses and have a few of them look terrible, and then and some aren't even bothered by it at all.
Right.
So with black spot, there are sprays that you can use and following the label directions, but usually you just pick off the black spots themselves, get rid of them, get them out of the area so you're not reinfecting the plant.
Right, because they're like little spores that are they're airborne.
Exactly.
They're just going to spread if they're on the ground, clean them off the ground.
It usually doesn't affect your flowers, just has it make all the leaves look kind of funky.
And especially since we've had all this wet, rain and the cool weather,
and
then it's warm and then it's wet and cold. We're going to
probably see a lot more of that. I would expect us to have a pretty funky mildew year this year.
And that's when we want to be on top of ahead of time before waiting before we see it.
You can spray ahead of time, but it in certain years it's a losing battle pretty much. But we have some copper 9 bark that's got lots of mildew on it. Apple trees are going to probably have mildew. Right. I've got some squash over here, some zucchini. It's going to be fine now until the mildew hits it. So there'll be a lot of things that we'll have to look at.
Does it do a lot of damage, or not necessarily, or more?
Well, it makes the plant less thrifty for sure, and so then the fruit doesn't usually affect the fruit, but just the ability to have a lot of fruit because the plant itself isn't
right,
doing it.
Because it's trying to fight that off and not
Right,
put the production
right,
into the fruit.
Right. Another thing you might see is fruit drop. Apples that are not pollinated. Maybe especially if we get some hot weather here for a little bit, you'll see apples dropping fruit drop. And that's because, mostly because of lack of pollination. So there'll still be some on the tree,
Right.
but the ones that aren't pollinated will drop.
And that's an okay
Yeah,
thing, right?
yeah.
It's not a sign of damage to the tree or
Right,
anything. It's just
exactly.
shedding anything that's not needed.
Right, right. I think we've covered what we were going to cover. Oh, I know. One more thing. Pollination. Pollinators, if you're mowing your lawn, don't do it in the middle of the day when they're feeding, or don't do weeding when they're feeding. Wait until dusk or early morning when they're not there yet.
Because you don't want to, damage them or the flowers.
Exactly.
Now, you had also showed me something earlier today. You had kind of dug through your box of tricks, and
Yeah.
we've known each other a long time over the years.
Yeah.
I won't tell you how many that is, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you have a picture
I do.
of me that will kind of tell you how long
Yeah,
you've
I
known
do.
me.
And I think Jeff has it. He'll put it on so others can see it too. That's you and your mom and your brother.
Yes, so it's a
When
great
you
great
were
picture. It'll be popped
little
up.
guy. Yeah, yeah.
So that's how long we've known Jan. So it's always a pleasure to be out, and your wealth of knowledge in the garden, we always appreciate it, and it's a pleasure to be out here.
It's fun to do it.
So it's
fun to
a
do
pleasure to see you. Thank you.
Right now, Ryan is looking for spittle bugs in the salvia. This spring, you might have noticed that it looked like somebody spit into your plants.
And a spittle bug's just a tiny little insect that sucks on the leaf of the plant. And then it creates this little pile, what looks like spit, around itself to try to protect itself. It really doesn't do much harm unless you have a really big infestation on the plant.
And it's really easy to get rid of them. Just get your hose and put it on a mist, and this just gently knock them off. The insect will fall to the ground where something else will take care of it. And this is just a really easy tip to get rid of spittle bugs.
Find everything you need for spring at Al's Garden and Home.
You can use water wisely this summer with these simple tips. Periodically, check your watering system to make sure it is working correctly. Tighten hose connections and adjust sprinklers to water plants and not the pavement. Give your lawn and garden a deep soak twice weekly instead of watering daily. Skip the fertilizer until the fall and mow your lawn less often. Taller grass holds moisture in longer between waterings. Get more water-wise gardening tips at regionalh2o.org.
Come to where the color is. Come to Egan Gardens. We've worked hard growing healthy plants for you so that your gardening is easy. Add sparkle to your garden with our perennials, container plants, and skillfully designed baskets and planters.
Stop and get a mood lifter out here on the farm. We have lots of fresh air and lots of space. There's lots of blooming plants, new vegetable starts, shrubs, and berry bushes.
Egan Gardens, where it's all about the plants. We're located west of I-5 at exit 263 on River Road.
Judy, what are you doing?
You said to follow you.
Follow us on Facebook.
Oh, man. Well, we invite all of our viewers to follow the Garden Time page on Facebook.
And on our Facebook page, you'll find links to stories, you'll see upcoming events, and you also might even find a funny joke or two.
So don't forget, go to the gardentime.tv webpage and click the link for Facebook. Well, it's June now, and June is when the perennials shine. Well, I am with Katey out at French Prairie Gardens. And so, Katey, you have really a beautiful selection and so many different textures and colors.
We do. We just decided that, we need to broaden our perennial array, and I feel like this year we've kind of knocked it out of the park.
You did. So tell us about them, and maybe start over by you.
Sure. This one right here is one of my favorites, just because I like the contrast between the foliage and the flower, and it's a Penstemon, and it's, basically that dark against that white just stands up, and how white dances in your garden at night. It's just beautiful.
And where would we plant it?
Probably middle to the back of the border, depending on you know, what you have up against. Maybe a green hedge fence would really pop, or you know, anything that's maybe kind of your shrub like your structure. It would kind of really like lighten that structure up.
Yeah, your design is coming out there because I know you do a lot of designing here too.
Yes. And same thing with this phlox, it would do the same thing. If you're not really a black and white, this is the green on white, and that would do the same kind of thing. It just blooms constantly throughout the summertime. And if you really want a little pop of flair, we have this digitalis right here that's gorgeous. It's kind of through its first push of bloom, but it will bloom all summer long as you take care of it.
And so how do we take care of it then?
Well, what you want to do is once it's finished its bloom, I would still let this bloom out a little bit because it's still gorgeous. You're just going to go down and you're going to just cut this off at the base, and if you notice, there'll be a little knob that they'll continue to grow.
That is nice. And so we do that with a lot of perennials then?
We do. We do a lot of deadheading and a lot of cleaning up. We'll continue to make them bloom, as well as the fertilization.
Well, you know, I like going in the garden and doing that because it's kind of like you're right in the garden and then you're right with your flowers, and it's kind of fun to do that.
Yeah, it is. And so those are some of our more sunny areas. I know a lot of people have shade. Everybody says, oh, I have shade, what do I do? Well, I have a great group of hostas this year. I have the traditional, this is a dream weaver. It's that variegated that really pops. And also the one in the front is really unique. It's an all green and it has a white flower, no purple in it, and it's fragrant.
Oh,
and so it hasn't bloomed yet, but I'm really excited about that one this year. And then we have our astilbe in the front. You get a little bit of that color, that fanciness, but again, these are more kind of front of the border perennials.
Nice, nice. And then I see you have a favorite here, lavender.
Oh, lavender. Everybody loves lavender. You have to have it. Brings in your pollinators, your bees, and it's just kind of a staple. And it's nice because the foliage does stay in the wintertime, so it gives you a little structure too, but it softens that. And then we have, you know, some of the favorites with Coreopsis, the little front of the border, some guara, which again will bring in some of those pollinators. And then if you're a cut flower fan, the delphiniums are just to die for. I remember my mom planting them and using them in arrangements, so it's kind of one of our family favorites.
Nice, they're beautiful and so many different colors.
Yes, I do have lots of different colors of those, so it's really nice.
And you know, you're known for your baskets, so we couldn't not talk about baskets, so you have two beautiful ones.
Yes, we do. So this is our shade lover. This is a straight fuchsia. We have several straight fuchsias left, and we are going to be putting them on sale this weekend, so if you guys need a basket, come on in. We have lots still. So this one is a part shade to no shade, so a little bit of morning sun would be great, but it can handle all day shade. And then the one over here, that's one of our favorites, our sun mixes, our 12-inch mixes. Got a mix of petunias, verbenas, dioecias, and you might kind of see that some of the flowers are looking like they're fading a little. Well, we're getting into that time of year when we need to start caring for our plants. So for those of you that love to kind of pick your plants, this is a good time to go out, maybe with your favorite beverage or whatever, and kind of pick those petunias off. For those of you that don't necessarily like to deadhead a lot, like me, because I did it as a kid, I just use this Jack's triple 20. I do it once a week, to be honest, because if I don't do it once a week, I will forget, and then it's 6 weeks, and I'm going, why do my baskets not look good?
Right.
That constant fertilization is great on that one, and then for your fuchsia care, fertilization as well, but then once it starts to kind of form these little berries right here, you want to be picking them off so that it doesn't put all this energy into a seed production. It keeps flowering.
Oh, perfect. And then I know that you already had berries, brews, and barbecue.
Yes.
So did we miss it?
No, not really. We decided that we're going to do it again Father's Day weekend, so not this weekend, but next weekend. It's always been a favorite for families to come out and celebrate with Dad. Things might be a little different, but we're still going to have the barbecue and the brews and some music, whatever kind we can have, because everything changes. And lots of country air, open air, farm animals for the kids. It's just going to be a nice time to come out and enjoy a farm setting for Father's Day. And we will have some shortcake and berries, but probably no you picking just because this year was a really early year.
Right. But come over and enjoy the farm with your family and your friends, because this is a wide open space, so we can feel comfortable here. And you guys have done all of what you have to do, all the procedures.
Oh yeah, yep. We're sanitizing all of our tables in between customers and all of our carts, and we have plexiglass, and we're doing everything to keep you guys safe, and bathrooms and all that. So come on out, enjoy the space, open air. We're here to make your day great.
And where can we find all the information?
You can go to our website, fpgardens.com, or our Facebook page. Or I'm sure you guys probably have a link to
and we
this
do
over.
on gardentime.tv. Well, you can see that it's still so beautiful here. Gardening is still one of the major hobbies for all of us. And so go to a Garden Time website and you can click over to their website, but come on out and enjoy all the flowers and the country sunshine. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Judy.
Many of us like to eat and harvest out of our gardens our fruit and berry plants, but sometimes our furry friends like to eat them too. So a couple tips we can use to help deter those is one by using this large owl, and this will help deter some of the birds because they see this as a threatening predator. You know, another tip you can use or you can get is a scare tape. These you can pick up at your local independent garden center. And this is just a flashy reflective tape. And it comes in a roll. All you have to do is just cut off little strips and strings and then tie it to the plant. And what that is, the light will hit it, the wind blows it, and it will help deter those birds from eating.
And another flashy item is to use an old CD. We all have them, and you don't even have to take a trip to your local independent garden center. You just hang these in the tree or the shrub, and it'll reflect the light just like the scare tape does. And if you really want to take those birds and keep them out of the plants, is you could drape a bird netting over the plant, and it will prevent the birds from getting at the fruit. Well, these are just a few tips that will let you keep all the fruit for yourself.
So for the parts of your life that just can't stop, it's essential to keep moving forward safely. And now it's easier than ever to own a brand new Subaru from Capital. Not only can you shop hundreds of Subarus online and get questions answered instantly, but now you can test drive, finance, and even complete your purchase all from the comfort of your home. So keep planning for the future. We'll be here to help make the road ahead just a little bit smoother. Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature blooming advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
DRAM is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. DRAM products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. DRAM for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
Look around your home's exterior. Those ugly orange, green and black algae stains look terrible. Clean them the easy way with 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. It's fast and works on all outdoor surfaces. With 30 seconds, it's clean when you want it clean.
Well, Garden Time loves to find new places to get plants, and I'm with Lucille Whitman from Whitman Farms in West Salem. And Lucille, we've had so much fun. Thank you, and thank you for sharing some of your favorites.
Yes. Well, it was a pleasure to me to share them. I mean, this is a very small amount of what I showed you.
It is not. And so she said humbly she's called the mulberry queen. So we have a mulberry here.
I call myself the mulberry queen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So look at this fruit. You know, you cannot find mulberries anywhere. So this is beautiful. Tell us about it.
Well, it's a dwarf mulberry. It's very precocious. You see that it's got fruit as a very small little tree. This is only 2 years old, well, maybe 3, and it's full of fruit. And so it will, as it gets bigger, it'll have more and more fruit, and the fruit is totally delicious.
And full sun?
Full sun.
Wonderful.
Full sun. Yep.
And this time of year, so early July, mid-July.
Mid-July, they're all right.
Wonderful.
They're wonderful. So I've got about 20 different cultivars of mulberries, but this one is the most pick-friendly because it's short.
And what's the name?
Pick. Girardi dwarf.
Okay, that's easy to know.
Yeah.
And then how many different ginkgos do you have? There's a whole house of them.
That's right. I probably have 50 different cultivars of ginkgos, and so I'll say something about this one first.
Okay.
So most people only want male ginkgos because they don't want the fruit. But in actual fact, if you've ever tasted the fruit, you realize it's an incredible delicacy. But the problem with ginkgos is that they don't mature. sexually until they're about 30, unless you find a special anomaly, which I found, and I'm thrilled to death that I have found a very precocious female ginkgo, and I have a precocious male. But most people want some new ginkgo, and new ginkgos are coming out all the time. New leaf shapes, new everything. So this is one of my favorites, introduced by a fellow named Crispin Silva, and it's called Jagged Jade.
Wow.
Look at that leaf. It is fascinating. And he got a sport off that is a variegated jagged jade, which is called Crispin's Jaded Jester. And it's just beautiful. Both of these are small growers.
Nice.
Yes, because ginkgos, you think of, well, you know, that'll be 60 feet tall.
Right, no.
Wrong. These are among the small dwarf ginkgos.
Wonderful. Wow. And then what is this? It kind of just looks like a plant.
Well,
it's an
yeah,
important one.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a gumi. This is Elaeagnus multiflora.
Wow.
And this is the fruit. It's absolutely delicious. You wait until it's kind of wrinkledy and dark red before you eat it. But it's delicious.
They are delicious.
And they have millions on them. I mean, you can kind of pick them like
huge.
this.
Yeah, there were so many fruits.
Yes.
And so that's kind of a small shrub, a small multi-stem tree, or?
Well, only small if you think that 8 by 8 is small.
That's not bad.
Okay.
But you get lots of fruit. We like
lots
of fruit.
Yeah, tons of fruit. And the tree itself is beautiful.
Yeah, it is
Look,
pretty.
It's silver underneath the leaves. And this is the Tillamook cultivar.
Very nice.
And so that's, I like to have unusual fruits, and that's one of my unusual fruits. And now we're standing in front of a sort of a typical European smoke tree that is full of smoke and interesting.
Right.
Everybody notices. It's interesting.
But
well, it's interesting. But my favorite smoke tree, by far my favorite smoke tree, is this, which is the American smoke tree. It gets a little bigger, but the leaves are translucent.
Oh, beautiful.
And in the fall, every leaf is a different color.
Oh, wow.
And you feel like you're in a cathedral with stained glass windows. It's just stunning.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
And so something different, like, because that's what you find when you come out to Whitman Farm. She has so many different trees, so many different kind of unusual fruits. So really go to our website. We'll click you over to Whitman Farm's website. They have a wonderful catalog. And also you can find your plants at One Green World and Portland Nursery.
Yeah.
And so, but you can also call for an appointment to come out and visit this gem. Thanks so much, Lucia. We've had a blast.
Oh, Judy, it was a pleasure. See you later.
So even though the Rose Festival has been canceled, there's still a Rose Festival Rose of the Year, and I'm here with Laura at Portland Nursery. And Laura, what is this year's Portland Rose Festival Rose?
Princess Power! It's a wonderful hybrid tea, kind of a blend. It looks like it's been hand painted pink and cream with a mild fruity fragrance.
Very pretty. And then you guys are the only place in town you can get these, right?
We're it, yep. And we've got a special on them, buy one, get one free. So this is the only place you can get Princess Power, and you can get one to share or two for yourself.
And so you have that great sale. It looks like you have a good selection of these.
Yes.
And you have tons of other roses out here too.
Oh my gosh.
Not on sale yet, but
Nope.
the Princess Power is.
Correct.
But you have a great selection, and it's a great rose. So you can still be part of the Rose Festival tradition and get your 2020 Portland Rose Festival Rose at Princess Power out here at Portland Nursery.
Yep.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ryan.
Since 1987, French Prairie Gardens has brought you the best in farm fresh produce, beautiful plants, and memorable family events. Spring is here, and now is the time to get your garden ready with our wide selection of bedding plants and hanging baskets. Experience the best the country has to offer at French Prairie Gardens.
DRAM is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. DRAM products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. DRAM for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
Do you have a leaning or broken fence? Fix a broken fence with ease. Made in Oregon, the sturdy fence post bracket can mend your drooping fence. Strong winds, falling debris, dry rot, and wayward drivers can all cause havoc on your once sturdy fence. Our sturdy bracket attaches to your existing fence and is easily installed in 30 minutes. Limit waste, materials, and save money by fixing your existing fence. Purchase online at sturdfence.com or visit participating Par Lumber and Pro Build stores.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian Bauman from Bauman's Farm and Garden. Today I'm going to show you how to plant up a succulent planter for your front porch or patio. And as we plant this today, I want you to think of it more as like a flowering bouquet. Nice and tight and full so that we don't have to wait all summer for it to fill out. So let's get started. I picked out some succulents here, just like we do for other planters, with some thrillers, some fillers, and then some spillers to go over the side. So we're going to start in the middle and work our way out. But before we get started, let's make sure we have some good holes for drainage in the bottom. Okay, I may have gotten a little excited. I couldn't quite get everything that we had on the table into the planter, but you can see I got quite a few of them in here. And the nice thing is, it's big and beautiful already, and throughout the summer, it's only gonna get more beautiful. These are all tropical succulents, so when winter comes, you're either gonna need to bring this one inside, or just let it go and we'll do another one next year. If you need any information about which succulents to pick out, head on out to the store, we'd be happy to help you. This planter is not going to need a lot of water, but maybe once a week and maybe fertilizer once a month, and that's it. And you'll have a big, beautiful planter all summer long. For more information, go to www.baumanfarms.com.
So I'm standing with Thomas, and we are out at Seabright in their display gardens. And Thomas, today we're going to talk about some great plants for shade, some really dependable ones. Hostas, of course, have to be one, right?
It's hard not to talk about hostas when you're talking about shade. This is a really nice variety called Mount Tom, and I really like it because each leaf is really different in that the varying degrees of variegation on it. It'll get a bigger leaf than this yet, so this is a really nice quilted waffling on the leaf. It gets to about 3.5 feet tall and probably about 4 feet across when it's mature, so it's a very large hosta.
And we've talked about this before. You have it in a pot, which for big trees, lots of roots, bad soil, pots and hostas, great thing.
Yes. The hostas in the pot is just wonderful because they look great in containers. They mound down, they partly cover the pot, so if you have an area where you've got lots of tree roots, you can put hostas in decorative pots, and when they're fully leafed out, you can't even tell there's pots there. It's just like just a
beautiful plant.
Yeah, exactly.
And then let's talk about one of my favorite ferns.
Okay. Yeah, there's one called Dre's Dagger, and it is fantastic to about 3 feet tall and has all these wonderful clusters of crests at the end of the fronds that look like tassels hanging out on it, and it can grow in pretty much full sun as well as full shade, and very vigorous to about 3.5 feet tall.
And do I remember seeing one of those in a pot as well in your garden here too?
We have a Cristata the King in a pot, but the Dre's Dagger beside it is in the ground.
And both of them are stunning.
They're wonderful, yeah, and ferns in pots are also wonderful.
Right. So now we have a couple more I want to go over and show people, so let's walk on over there.
Sounds good.
Okay, now I'm with Thomas in a different part of the display garden. And Thomas, let's talk about a hardy begonia here.
Yeah, people don't really think about begonias as being hardy, but this is one called Begonia grandis, and it's very hardy. Here it's been through 10 winters probably without any trouble at
Wow.
all. And it gets to about 3 feet tall. And what I really like about it is
turn it over
Yeah,
here.
is the backs of the leaves.
Stunning.
This really gorgeous red, and the way it holds them on the plant when the sun is shining, when it's getting, especially when it's getting low in the afternoon, it's just spectacular.
It really is. And they have a kind of a pink bloom.
Yeah,
don't
kind of
they?
a pink bloom. But yeah, you don't think about hardy begonias, but it's another nice texture, cool plant
Right.
for the shade.
And then right at our feet is, I have to say, it's one of my favorite plants that's come around in a
I
while.
have to agree with you.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Beesia.
yeah.
Tell me about this beauty.
Okay, this is Beesia, and it is an evergreen shade perennial. And I always think that it doesn't really look real. It looks like it's
I
fake,
know,
or
right?
something
It
that you
does.
bought at a department store, you know, as a plastic
Yeah, as a plastic plant, it does.
But it's this wonderful evergreen foliage. And in the wintertime, the only difference between how it looks and how it looks now is that it gets a wide kind of a purple edge around the outside of the leaf. So it's spectacular year round. And these are the little blooms. They're fairly insignificant on it, but still it adds another dimension to the plant. And it's an easy, super vigorous grower. Never looks bad. You don't have to really ever clean it up very much at all. It's just
Yeah, and I can tell you that I've even grown it in hanging baskets
that
for
would be
like
good.
3 years
Yep,
now,
yep,
and
yep.
it's stunning because it's one of the
Yep.
few evergreen things in the wintertime in a basket.
Yep. It can also be used as mass planted as a ground cover.
Wonderful. Well, there you have it. So if you have some shade and you might have some worries about it, go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. Come on out and get all the best shades you might ever want in your shade garden. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, William.
Thank you for watching Garden Time. We hope you've been enjoying this cool and wet January, but we all know it will get sunny and warm again.
And if you want to see the show all over again or any of our past shows, please go to gardentime.tv. Ryan, I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week here on Garden Time.
Parts of this episode of Garden Time were recorded before COVID-19 and social distancing requirements.
Judy, what are you doing?
You said to follow you.
Follow us on Facebook.
Oh, man. Well, we invite all of our viewers to follow the Garden Time page on Facebook.
And on our Facebook page, you'll find links to stories, you'll see upcoming events, and you also might even find a funny joke or two.
So don't forget, go to the gardentime.tv webpage and click the link for Facebook.
DRAM is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. DRAM products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. DRAM for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Gustin Creative Group and its sponsors.